What do you think of this plan? Replace letter grades with pass or no credit?
Well, thanks so much, Emma and John. Look, I think this is all very sad. It's an indictment of our education system. It's an indictment of our broader culture and our elite institutions and our leaders. These kids can't read. Why can't they read? Well, they can't read because all of these teachers' unions have infiltrated our school boards. They're pushing a Marxist agenda, pushing gender. These kids are very fluent in gender ideology. They're very fluent in everything being racist and America being evil, but they can't read. They can't do math. And the NAEP scores, National Assessment for Educational Progress, has shown this for years, that only about a third of our kids and less can read at grade level throughout our education system. But on top of that, you also have these DEI programs that are keeping qualified kids out of high-level and elite institutions like Harvard. Harvard had to introduce remedial courses this year, or in the past few years. Remedial courses at the greatest elite institution in American university history. It's absolutely sad, and it's a total indictment of the entire education industry.
So what message, though, does it send to students about accountability and maybe the expectations of college?
It sends a very poor message. It says that we don't care. You are a cog in a machine. We want you to go to work. We want you to be a consumer. And we don't care if you have your own ideas and you can help participate in our system. Look, the whole point of education is not even so that kids can do math and read. It's so that they can think for themselves, so that they can actually contribute to the American experiment. This republic is going to die if our kids can't read, but even more importantly, if they can't think for themselves. And the point of this education system is not to educate and form our children. It is to mold them to be cogs in a machine and to be progressive little communists.
Yeah, well, even if you were able to graduate and get a job after the fact, if you can't produce the A quality work in the workforce, you don't get to keep that job. So it might be a tough realization for some of these students once they graduate.
For sure.
But Terry, the issue is clearly before you even get admitted and show up on campus. I mean, if you've got, middle school math that you are skilled with, what can be done at that grade level to actually make sure that problem's addressed before you get to college?
Well, it would take a lot of hard work. It would take a lot of humility. The problem is when you get older and you find out that you're not as smart as what your teachers told you because they just passed you through and handed you off to the next teacher, it's kind of humiliating. And there's a pride aspect here. And so it's all about whether or not these people will be able to admit that they don't know math. They need to learn how to do math. They need to learn how to actually read. There was a viral video just the other day of a black teacher who was brought to tears when he realized that the 17-year-old seniors in his class could not write a single sentence. Right? This is debilitating. But I always have hope because we have our Lord. We know how this all ends. But at the same time, when you're dumb, you have a lot of pride and you don't like to admit that you're dumb. No one likes to admit that they're dumb. I don't like to admit when I'm wrong. But it doesn't bode well for our future. It really doesn't.
Yeah, good point. Normally that report card is sort of the realization. You're like, oh my goodness, I might need to spend a few more hours studying. But if you don't get the report card, then you're like, oh, I guess everything's just fine. What a crazy time we're living through. Terry, thank you so much.